Hi, my name is Jerry Stoner. I'm the Marketing Director for the Young Americans Dinner Theater in Eureka Springs.
Hi, and I'm Christy Balthazar. I'm the owner of the Center Stage for the Performing Arts here in Eureka Springs.
Oh, the Young Americans are a performing group, singing, dancing, entertainers, young people from the ages of roughly 15 to 22, 23, from all across the country. They've been in existence since 1962. The founder of the Young Americans' name was Milton Anderson. He was a musical conductor for the CBS Orchestra in Hollywood. Had a heart for helping young people find meaning in their lives, especially back in the early 60s when, at the time, young people were trying to find their way, a lot of gangs, drugs, things like that. And so his whole outlook was to provide a nonprofit organization for high caliber talent. You have to audition to be in the group, and they auditioned from all parts of the country. And they were formed out there, and they still currently reside out in Corona, California. Yes, they actually was a performing group before it was a college, but about 10 years ago they started a college, and it's a college for the performing arts. So the tuition will get you all the classes you need to get accredited. And then some of those students do become Young Americans, but they're still required to audition to become part of the group. Well, they've traveled all over the world, but before COVID, they had an outreach that was primarily going to high schools. And they'd come into a high school for 3 days, teach young people, these kids in the high school, to do a show. And the young kids would perform with the Young Americans the first half of the show within 3 days, and then the Young Americans would perform the second half of the show. And that's been a real focus of theirs, to try to keep music back into schools.
It was really that outreach program that brought the Young Americans to Eureka Springs, because there were students in Rogers, Arkansas, who actually attended those workshops and then pursued their interest in becoming a Young American. And it was really their parents that helped bring the Young Americans to Eureka Springs. So that outreach, it reached Eureka Springs.
There have been, there's some notable names. Maybe the one that goes the furthest back is Vicki Lawrence, who was on the Carol Burnett Show. Nia Peoples, who was, in Texas Walker Ranger and Fame. She was in the group when I was in the group, way back when. And then there's producers behind the scenes. Mark Cherry is now a board member. Mark Cherry created the show Desperate Housewives. So in different factions of entertainment, you'll find a lot of the performers that go on to do that, or become teachers themselves.
Well, it's interesting that when I first got involved with the project, it was nothing more than a dream about getting the Young Americans to be in Eureka Springs for a season. And it was really the producers that I met with initially. That was my first contact. Were the two producers that were producing the show. And really, I got drawn to the quality of the production and the effort that they were going to expend in producing just a top quality entertainment show with a bunch of talented young people. And that really sucked me in, if you will, and they were at the time still just looking for a place. They were really looking for a home in which they could have a place to host their dinner theater and their show. And so that's really what led me then to Center Stage and taking the giant leap of making that investment in order to provide a stage for this young, talented group of people.
Oh, I think mainly, and sometimes it's hard to explain what the show is like. For lack of a better term, it's just really top quality, good, wholesome entertainment. Everybody in the family can come here. And I get that feeling here. I've been to Eureka Springs before, and I love the vibe of this town. I think it's something they would embrace. The Young Americans had a similar dinner theater up in northern Michigan, and a community that embraced them, and it just was a perfect fit for them. And the show itself is something that's kind of unique. The kids are all waiting tables, they're waiting on you. Then they get up and do a full show. They do an intermission, come back, serve you dessert, do another part of the show. It's just it's a really, really fun experience. And it's one of those things where you kind of, sounds cliche, but you have to really see it and experience it to understand it.
And I think Eureka Springs offers a lot of daytime entertainment, but I think there was an opening for some evening entertainment that doesn't go late into the night, that's good entertainment for all of the tourists that are spending time here, whether it's vacationing at the lake or just staying right here in Eureka Springs to enjoy the culture. I think that the young Americans in Center Stage fill a little bit of a gap that's existed in Eureka Springs. They have just been blown away by it. They've never experienced really another town with as much culture in such a small, concise area as Eureka Springs offers. And I also think they've done a nice job of contributing, making a contribution to that culture and enhancing that culture.
Yeah.
So as we go into July, we have the June weddings behind us that were already booked at Center Stage, which we wanted to honor since most of them were postponed from 2020. But as we go into July, our weekends really open up to have a dinner theater both Friday and Saturday nights. We will be offering our full dinner theater experience. Dinner is served at 6:30 and the show starts at 7:30 on those nights. On both Thursday and Sunday, we also offer a show-only option. On Thursday nights, that show starts at 7:30, so you can buy show-only tickets and come and see the show and not have dinner at the theater. And then on Sunday, we're also offering a matinee show-only performance on Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock through the month of July. So that will be our schedule, and we hope to add more days as ticket sales continue to increase and demand occurs. We'll add more days of both the dinner theater and the show.